Amanda J.
Hey.
You look great. You look summertime.
I live for summer.
Are you growing any flowers?
Yeah, I sure am. I'm actually surrounded by them at my desk. Let's see if I can get them on camera here. So I got this real cute. Oh, wait, that's phlox. That's
Phlox,
cherry caramel
beautiful phlox, snapdragon.
Some fun celosia.
Look at those
And then,
scandalosas.
yeah, yep. And then there's like the ageratum in there. You see that?
Yeah.
What's your zone? What's your zone?
6.
6. Oh, that's
6.
a good one.
Yeah, but I grow in a high tunnel for my growing days. Like this, I'm just doing for fun. I just missed having all the varieties that I used to grow. So this year in January, I was like, I'm going to start some thousands of seeds.
The zone is like, there's a whole map that explains the different zoning for gardening and also for growing. And it depends like
temperature
the zone
tolerance.
What's the highest?
Like I'm in zone 3B.
In New York.
Yeah, you're good for a lot of good stuff too, though.
No, I can't have a lot of different trees. A lot of trees can't tolerate. It's too cold.
As I say, three's pretty low. There's a lot of stuff that won't tolerate a 3.
But wait, I checked because I was going to buy Mike this beautiful rose, and I thought Mommy said you were a different number. But anyways, you can Google and see the zones.
But I bought a Japanese maple 2 years ago, and the first year it did fine, but last winter was really cold and it was really snowy and really frozen, and it didn't do well. It's not doing well. Also, my curly willow, because of the amount of wind and rain, I had to call Carl from Green Park and ask, why does my curly willow look so bad? And he said it had blight, and it got blight from the very wet spring and the wind. So he told me, go back there and cut it all off and make sure you dip your clippers in bleach afterwards.
Yeah, to kill.
And it will come back over time. So I was out there cutting all my curly willow. It's only like 3 years old. It's a nice little tree. But I didn't want to throw the curly willow away, so I left it by the road so the leaves would fall off and then people can pick up the curly willow and use it for decoration when it's dry.
Yeah.
It might just root there. That stuff, I mean, I can't get rid of it. It grows like a weed here. Not curly, but we have so much willow.
Yeah.
What's your favorite? What was your favorite, or currently is your favorite flower or branch or ornamental to grow?
That is like the worst question to ask people in this industry. How do you choose? I mean, the favorite response I hear is whatever is making the most money right now, but that doesn't apply to me. I guess for me, it was dahlias. I used to grow like 400 dahlias. And I don't know, there's just something about how symmetrical and perfect they are and the colors that I just really loved. But like this year, I've really been loving my snapdragons because they smell like bubblegum. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know if the commercial, like what you guys get in. And the colors, like just this gorgeous like peach color. And they're fluffy. They're the butterfly snapdragons, So I'm digging those this year.
Where do you get your seeds?
I usually order from Johnny's
Seeds, yeah.
Sometimes I used to order from Geo. They're out of North Carolina, I think, when I was growing more seriously. But it was fun. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I did it this year.
Well, we're missing our harvest. My wife has the delphinium that comes really big, but we ain't going to see it because we're here. And the peony crop came in huge. We got like 12 flowers this year. It was amazing.
So I was going to buy you, I had this client at when I was at Chrysler, that's Grace Rose Farms, and she grows a lot of beautiful varieties of like roses that are just gorgeous. And I was going to buy it for your birthday. And then Mommy, I knew you were coming down here and it needs to be watered a certain time, but it was perfect for your zone because Mommy told me you were zone 4, but when I'm looking here, you guys are zone between 3 and 4. So
3B, they call it. Yeah.
Wait, we need to go back and do the intro, Mike.
Okay. Okay. Welcome to another podcast of the Fresh Bunch. And I would like to welcome today, Ryan is off today. We have the great Mimi Pacheco, the amazing Joel Serrano, and our fantastic, amazing, superpower guest today is none other than Amanda Jedlinsky, who is the editor-in-chief of SAF Publications.
Floral management.
But she's in that SAF too.
She's everything.
Checking everything.
She's also a grower.
She's a grower.
She's a super mama.
She's been a great friend to us since the day we met, and I'm very happy to have her today.
Yeah, it's so good to be with you guys. What an introduction. I'm flattered. Thank you.
You know how we feel about you. You guys, you do such a good job. Everything you write is really well written.
Mm-hmm.
We share sometimes around the office the stuff, email to each other.
Oh, good.
And I don't think you're afraid to talk about the bad stuff neither, right? Which is kind of what we're doing today.
Yeah, well, I don't, as an industry, we can't get better if we don't address the bad stuff, the challenging stuff.
That's so true. But yeah, I agree with Mike. All your articles, I know how much you could tell, like you've put into it, you research it, you also like not only just think about SAF or you're thinking about like the bigger picture, you are thinking about how it affects the industry as a whole. Like you try to connect the pieces where you're bringing in growers or wholesalers. And I think that that's really amazing. I mean, I know that a lot of people that work at SAF, like I love speaking to Maura because Maura gets a lot of the stuff, because she's been on that other side. And I think that that's really something like it just helps. It's another tool in your tool belt, but you get to really understand when you read your articles, like what's going on in its entirety.
Well, I'm so glad to hear it helps. What we hear a lot is that one of the biggest gaps in the supply chain is just that communication piece. Mm-hmm. And SAF is just so well positioned to close that gap and bring everybody together. And, it is our job to keep everybody informed on what's happening, whether it's what's happening on the Hill or what's happening in Colombia or what's happening in California or Miami. And I just, this, like, I love this industry. I love the people in it. I love the passion that this industry has. So I really care about it. And all that makes it really easy to do my job.
Your job cannot be easy.
No
well,
way.
It's not.
It cannot be easy.
I meant in the way of like waking up every day and working. I truly love my job.
Aside from being the editor-in-chief and all that other stuff, when it comes down to convention, Amanda's all in, Everybody at SAF, you see those blue shirts everywhere. I mean, we're going to see them in a couple weeks, Mike.
Yep.
In Amelia.
Yay. Amelia Island. Who's been?
Me.
I've never been to Amelia.
You haven't?
No.
Oh, yeah, I've been. I went years ago. Wow. When was the last time? It was like, I just know that that's the one that Jordan got engaged in the beach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
During the reception.
Right.
I remember because I was getting ready in my room and all of a sudden I see the big commotion outside and I was like, what is going on? And for a long time, I thought it was Zoe. And I was always like, Zoe, when you got engaged, she's like, I did not get engaged at convention. But yeah. So I know I was on yesterday's coffee chat, the Next Gen coffee chat. You guys have like 400 registered attendees, something like that?
Yeah, we're just about there. We're just about there. And I expect that we'll blow past that number pretty soon.
That's great.
Yeah. Well, Mike and I are doing how Celeste calls it, edutainment, an edutainment session in the experience zone. Mike and I will be doing education entertainment of how to get PFCI. So we got to work on that. I'm really looking forward to the Supplier Expo and the OV, my favorite. Seeing all those flowers there makes me so happy. And we're going to get inducted. Plus, we're going to take new people, Mike. We're getting to take Connor.
Ooh, congratulations.
Yeah, Mike loves to bring new people. He wants to make sure it's always fair for everybody to get their chance and make sure that they understand and experience. So we have Connor and Ty coming to SAF, and I'm really excited for them.
Me too. And you guys, congratulations on your PFCI.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got to get new business cards now. I got some letters. So exciting. I feel like, it's a long time coming to have that kind of stuff.
Yeah. for you do so much communication in our industry and in the company. But for me now, Ryan has put the challenge on that I have to do my care and handling tips online now. So like I have to have a Mimi segment just because I got letters. So it comes with its consequence.
Yeah. Well, now you can raise your prices when you do speaking.
That's right. I'll be like, I have Mimi's Corner. Mimi's Minutes, somebody said. Yeah.
Cute.
All right. Well, enough of the fluff, guys. Mike doesn't like the fluff. He likes the podcast to be real, right, Mike?
Well, a couple of them lately have got a little bit drowsy listening to. You know, I want people to be like, okay, let's listen.
Let's listen and learn.
You know, and you don't turn on the news without seeing bad shit. That's all you see on the news, bad stuff. And at the very end, after the commercial break, they show you a very nice story about somebody happy or something nice that happened to somebody somewhere in the world.
Yeah, because you don't want to turn the TV off thinking only the bad, right?
The first 25 minutes is all bad stuff. It's all like things that will keep you tuned in to see what happens.
So we started the other way here.
Yeah, well, sometimes. I mean, sometimes it gets really, there's some rapid fire good stuff. And then sometimes it kind of goes down the, I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Doesn't want to make me tune in.
Right. Well, we got to make sure that our listeners are being heard and also that we are giving them stuff to listen to.
Yeah. Amanda used to write for a newspaper. She knows what I'm talking about. They put all the bad shit on the front page.
Yeah.
Nobody really wants to listen to the good stuff?
I mean, I think we agree we all do. But yeah, I lived the bad stuff for 5 years at the newspaper covering the public safety beat. It's horrible. Nobody needs that in their life.
Yeah.
So I want to have conversations which people are like, oh shit, I want to know about that. I want to hear about that. I didn't know about that. That's what I want. I want more of that. I don't want all of that, but I want, some more of that. That's why I don't like all fluff.
I get you. I think
there's a lot of bad shit going on in this industry. People, for one reason or other, don't talk about. And they don't, almost taboo sometimes to talk about some of the stuff that goes on.
Well, maybe because people think like if you talk about it, that means it's happening in your segment. And then people are going to be worried about how you handle things or how things are going to be sold to them. So I not that I'm saying that we should ever cover up anything because, for me, Mike, transparency is key. Like it's always like that. I feel like you gain the trust by that. But you're right. We do have to talk about some of the bad. So today we were talking to Amanda about this month in July, right? July, the whole month you guys have been talking about something really that affects our industry big time.
Right. So this issue, it's with deceptive order gathering. And this has been happening in the industry for a very long time. It's not like this is new and we just learned about it. But this year, earlier this spring, we started hearing a lot more chatter from our florist members about it. What it is, if anybody doesn't know, do I need to explain it? Do we all know?
Yeah, no, I think you should explain it. We should talk all about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what traditionally had been happening, and I just want to be very clear up front, order gathering has always been a part of the floral marketplace, and we are not taking issue with order gathering. Okay, this is deceptive order gathering. And what happens is these companies, they get really aggressive online and they bid on your shop name, which isn't illegal. It helps them show up above you in search results. Unless
what do you
you're
mean
also
they bid on your shop name? What does that mean?
For Google AdWords, yeah.
Yeah, for Google AdWords. So if you're doing like a pay-per-click campaign, you bid on certain words. So if you're a florist in Columbus, Ohio, you would probably bid on florist Columbus, Ohio. You definitely want to bid on your shop name, and that's exactly why. And so when people search those terms, it makes your listing show up at the top of the search result page. So that's what I mean.
If my florist name was ABC Florist, some company can pay money to have ABC Florist be directed to them?
Exactly. And not just that, they don't even have, there's a way to do it where you don't even have to have that name inside the title of it. So they can go ahead and steal, like, it's almost like stealing the identity of that, or, stealing that spot is taking away from that person's organic views, from their paid views. So some people are losing money, right? Like, because they're paying for it.
Okay, wait 1 second. So a friend of mine calls me, let's just say, from New York, and he goes, "Hey, I got to send some flowers in Miami. You got a good florist for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, call ABC Florist."
Yes. And they can go.
I don't give him the number or whatever because I'm assuming he's going to go online and find them himself.
Correct.
And he can go online and not get to the person that I recommended?
Absolutely.
So what's going to happen, Mike, if your friend Googles ABC florist, whoever has bid on their name is going to show up above them. And they might show up above them as Amanda's Flowers, which means Amanda's Flowers bid on ABC's name. So when someone searches it, they show up first. So, and actually this practice is fine. It happens in every industry all the time. It's just competitive digital marketing strategy. But where it becomes deceptive is when, the name that shows up is ABC Florist, but it's not the real ABC Florist. Okay. So you can't pretend that you're the company. Your website can't have the company's name or address or, mimic it like that. So that's what we're really trying to educate the industry about and help them understand. And before I move on, I want to mention that part of what we were hearing this spring was it was becoming even more aggressive. So these order gatherers, what they do is they siphon away the orders, the deceptive order gatherers, excuse me. They siphon away the orders from real florists. They're charging very high service fees because then they pass the order on to a real florist to be fulfilled.
Right.
Okay. So florists have gotten pretty savvy to this. They recognize that this is coming from an order gatherer. I mean, I'm not going to name names here, but a lot of these deceptive order gatherers are pretty well known by name in the industry. And so they've gotten very savvy to this. Some of them won't accept them. But the deceptive order gatherers, they're getting so desperate during high volume times that they'll call the shop and pretend they're a customer. So they'll call and just say they're a customer. They have the customer's credit card number because the customer gave it to them. They're using that to pay the shop. They have even spoofed their caller ID. So, we have one florist who's on a retail council. She's in Arkansas, I believe. And she got a phone call and it looked like it was from her local hospital. And it was somebody trying to place an order from the local hospital. But there were enough warning signs throughout her conversation with this person that she knew it was not someone from the local hospital. So they've gotten a little more aggressive. And SAF has had a policy against deceptive advertising since 2019. But this year, because it was generating so much talk and so many problems, we put together a collection of resources on our website. And it provides information on, exactly what this is, warning signs, how to strengthen your presence online, how to train your staff. This has got to be
what happened to me with a hotel once, because I needed to stay at a Marriott hotel one time.
Absolutely.
And I Googled Marriott hotel, and I don't know what happened, but I wound up booking with some outside company.
Yep.
And it went all
bad.
What
happened.
It was when we went to Las Vegas. That's when it happened.
That's why we're not allowed to use those websites, right? Yeah.
Right. It happened also with an airline once. Or not to me, but to somebody in the company. They booked a bunch of tickets with some third-party company, and for whatever reason, we needed to cancel the flight, and we were stuck. Yeah. There was nothing we could do. So I insist on buying directly with the companies. And I'm much more careful now when I'm making a reservation on a plane or a hotel or whatever. But I guess it's not unique to the flower business. I guess it's everywhere.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. And part of the resources we put together is consumer education, right? Because there is a lot a consumer can do to make sure they're ordering from a real business. Hopefully, between that and our cover story, we'll get the word out and get people some support, help train their staff to deal with it. Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, you think about everything this industry and we're just going through right now with all the rapid change in technology and the war with Iran and all these things. And then you got to deal with this on top of it.
That's the sad part, right?
Do they use the AI, these order gatherers?
Oh, yeah.
Is that part of their stuff is to use AI
you can create
figure everything out?
No, and the thing is that, Mike, it like you said, it's not just this industry; it's a lot of industries. But even, I mean, that's why it's really hard. We gotta find, as a consumer, I'm finding myself using less and less. I'm trying to, like, yesterday I called the place to order my food, because if I go through Uber pickup, they're losing that money, and these small businesses, they have to be able to. It's really true, Mike. Like,
I know. The lady was excited.
The lady was like, "Oh, Jet Fresh, thank you." She's like, "It's slow, right?" I go, "Oh, yeah." And she told me, she says, I sell the lo mein, let's say, for $14.95, the lunch special, and if I do it on Uber, it's $22, and they're keeping that profit. And really, you were going to come here regardless because my food's good. Although Mike didn't want to try any of the Chinese food.
I would eat Chinese food from Doral, Florida. Sorry.
He says it's from a canal.
No, I won't do it. But I will tell you, you're right. Because one night I came home late from traveling from somewhere and nobody else was around. And I said, let me just order myself something to eat. And I went on Uber Eats and I ordered a kid's meal cheeseburger from BurgerFi. Right? Guess how much they charged me? $30.
What?
Yes.
Robbery.
Yeah, and before you even check out, you have to put the tip. And if you lowball the tip, you got to be concerned about your food.
Right.
You got to give a good tip, and they know that. Why can't you tip after the fact? They don't let you. And you know what? I gave a good tip, and I wasn't even the first stop. They made multiple stops. I was like, where the hell is my food? Yeah, it took like an hour. And it was cold. I had to heat it up. But anyway, yeah, I see what that's talking about. How do retailers defend themselves from these people when they call? They say, hey, I got an order for you. They just know their order gathered. They kind of pick up on it after, the first 10 calls. They get to know who's who, right? How do they, are there florists who are saying, sorry, I can't help you? Or are they saying, I'll do it, but you got to pay me this? How are they defending themselves?
Yeah, well, to answer that question, I mean, all of the above. I've talked to florists who, if the money is right, if the numbers are right, they will take the order. And then I've talked to florists who will not deal with them at all because they just disagree, on principle with what they're doing. But in terms of defending themselves, it's a combination of things. It's really like you need to train your staff to recognize when these orders come in. So it might be a credit card doesn't go through. It might be they don't know all the customer information as you're asking it. There's different warning signs, and we have those listed on our resource center as part of how to train your staff. And the other part of it is just you have to invest in digital marketing. I can't stress that enough. In my position, we write a lot about digital marketing, and I talk to a lot of digital marketing experts. Okay. And the companies that I see who are most successful, the florists especially, they are the ones investing in marketing. It is a must, especially in this day and age. And so, the best thing you can do is bid on your name, with those pay-per-click ads, so that at least you're showing up too.
How much are we talking about? How much are we talking about when you bid on your name?
Okay, so
throw a number at me.
The average right now, I did look this up recently because one of my husband's companies spends $10,000 on Google AdWords a month. Woo! But they're selling high luxury furniture. And their seasons now.
Yeah.
So they have to be able to spend that and keep on top of it. And he's in charge of those Google AdWords. For us, you can go with our name itself. It's like $5 a click. So that's why I was saying.
Every time someone clicks, whether they buy or not, you got to pay $5.
And something, because it's all based on the competition that's happening in that moment. So if flowers is hot, if flowers are hot and people are clicking on it, and then you can also, there's people who go and bid, click on other people's AdWords just so that they spend that money, because you're going to spend that money. You can set it, Mike. You can set it to have a limit. That's crazy. Yeah, you can set it to have a limit. And
you pay $5 and you don't even get the order.
Exactly. That's why it's brand hijacking. Yeah. And in this industry, from what Amanda's talking about, this is, that's your brand, right? So if they're using another florist and that florist might not be doing what kind of stuff that you would be doing, there gets you a bad reputation. And that's when you hear people saying,
Exactly.
oh, I got bad flowers from ABC, but ABC never even touched the order.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was the same when there was Yellow Pages. Because when there was Yellow Pages, you know what Yellow Pages are, Joelle? That's like how we used to find businesses and stuff in this big, thick book they used to deliver to your house every year.
You know what's...
I used to have one. Well,
Okay.
Do you know what sucks?
grandma.
Every person my age worked for the Yellow Pages selling ads where you would have to go door to door to different businesses trying to get them to buy in the Miami Heat, in Orlando Heat. I did it. It was horrible.
So people spent money on a full page ad, a half a page ad, a quarter page ad, because that's the first thing you will recognize when you open the Yellow Pages looking for florists. And if you were ABC florist, they would make a trick and they would list themselves as ABC florist because they would guarantee to be on the top because they were in an alphabetical order. If you need a locksmith, which is usually the reason why I used to open up the Yellow Pages for a locksmith, it was, or a plumber or an electrician, you know, there's certain things that you have, just open that book and you need, it was always
Wait, is that why you guys were A Black and Co?
No, that's because my grandfather's name was Abraham.
Just joking.
No.
Wait, but you know what? You look 50 years forward from Yellow Page years, and with AI now, I mean, it's changing everything too about how consumers are finding florists. And so another part of defending yourself is being very explicit on your website about how you're a local flower shop in the community, family owned, like being very explicit that you are a real physical store with community connections. So I hear a lot of advice to build local pages, you know, within your website. Like we service the Dublin area and list some Dublin events going on or whatnot, because that's what AI is looking for. AI, if a consumer gets on AI and says, find a florist near me, the AI is going to look for the most relevant result. You know, so it's going to be looking for a real business that has good reviews, because AI doesn't want to lead this consumer astray. So yeah, it's just a lot is changing. And to your earlier question too about how much money, like it can be very expensive if you're in a very large market. I've talked to florists that spend $2,000 a month on it, but I've also been told that you could spend $200 to $500 a month on it as well.
And you have to be smart on your words, you know, like the Google AdWords that you're bidding on. I would never bid on, you know, let's say Jet Fresh, right? Because you're going to get other segments, you know, and our branding is so strong. We are using, Amanda, we're redoing our site now, and we're writing the whole thing AEO.
Now and forever.
and we are and the real thing is that it is going to make, in a way, the consumer more educated, because if they're really reading that stuff, you're learning every step that you're making this. And it's crazy because I was taught the old way, SEO. And now I'm thinking, yes, SEO, AEO, you're looking at like, geotagging everything. And, you know, making sure that our socials have the same language and the same tone. Everything has to be, it's crazy. I mean, if I show you the notebooks and stuff that we're going through, it's really interesting.
Oh, you think that there'll be a day where you have to pay for that stuff on like the AI?
For sure. They're saying like ChatGPT is taking over Google. I mean, you just go, if you Google anything now, they're giving you the Google AI response to it too. You know, like that's the first thing that you're getting. You're no longer getting.
I like that. I get a lot of good information.
But you know what? The thing is that we can't trust all the information.
Yeah.
Well, and it's taking clicks away from businesses, because the businesses that worked really hard to optimize their SEO and have blogs with tons of content, those AI search results that you're getting that summarize it, I mean, they're handy, I know, but those businesses are losing the clicks. AI is taking that information and the user doesn't have to ever click through to your website. Like everything about digital marketing is about to get turned upside down right now. SEO still matters. I mean, I'm not saying that SEO doesn't matter anymore, but at this point in the game, it's really the right combination of different strategies.
And you're writing for the defense, really. You're writing to make sure that people are are finding the things that you want them to know about you. So, to me, I think it makes you a stronger marketer. You have to really look into the data and really read what your market is. But
are these order gatherers like real florists somewhere? And
well,
just do this on.
Well, there
or
are
they like offshore, like
some of
call
them.
centers, like that kind of a place. Like, where do they come from?
So, I don't really know for sure that the Deceptive order gatherers, they don't have a fulfillment center. That's why they're putting the orders through to local florists. Okay. But there are legitimate order gathering companies online, that have an actual business. Some of them might have a fulfillment center. So, and that's always been present.
So they compete with the wire service in a way, right? But the wire service, sometimes I've heard florists tell me that, the wire service they keep like the real big meat and potatoes for themselves, and they farm out like the 1999 dozen rose special or something like that too.
I think the wire services, and I can't speak for a lot of it because that's not the market I'm in, but from what I read on like the Florists of Facebook and a lot of the things that people are saying, you get a lot of good from the wire services, and you have it offsets, you know what I mean? So maybe Amanda, you know more about that.
Well, I can't answer Mike's question. Your question about the pricing and what they keep. I don't really know that, but I did talk with Teleflora and emailed a little bit with FTD for the magazine story that's in the current issue of Floral Management, because this is an issue for them too. They're getting these deceptive order gatherers putting orders into their network. And Teleflora does a lot to help its consumer or its clients with digital marketing. So they're battling the same battle that a lot of the florists are.
Well, here we are talking about reading AI and maybe not trusting it. But according to AI, the typical service shipping fees and taxes from the wire services is 20 to 30% on top of the arrangement's retail price. That's what they're keeping. But again, like I said, and like Amanda just said, I think it offsets for some people because it does bring in so much more business.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, not only that, but a lot of florists, they're running their business on, the wire services POS system, their website, so they're relying on it for a lot of that infrastructure too.
I was visiting one of our customers, retail customers, and I was waiting in his office for him to finish a call that he had, and I noticed there was another person in the office, and that person was calling customers who had placed orders in the past saying, hey, you sent flowers for this birthday or for this occasion on this day. I was wondering if you would like to repeat that order this year, and from what I understand, that's kind of successful. They're successful. So it isn't all about always the internet. The phone is still a good tool. It's still a really good tool to sell flowers, and that really didn't cost much to do.
I have my aunt in Puerto Rico that I send flowers to for her birthday and for Mother's Day. And when that florist has all my information. I got them through Teleflora's website, and for me, it's really difficult because it's something that I couldn't go and see what it was like. I mean, everybody who uses the websites to look up for shipping flowers from another state, but this is from another country. I mean, outside of the U.S. So I was like a little hesitant, and now I receive a text message a week before my aunt's birthday. They already send me, here's your 10% off. Don't forget, it's her birthday, and that's a text message, and I get the email, and that's all through the wire service. So I mean, it's digital marketing that's amazing for some of them.
Yeah, and you're right. They are automating it. A lot of like the marketing campaigns, the email campaigns, those are all automated.
It's like the HubSpot.
There's another florist.
Right? The HubSpot has all this information, and it sends out emails and texts and all kinds of stuff to remind people, hey, last year you bought this at this time. I guess it's the same thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's Monty in Honolulu, Hawaii, who was telling us earlier this year that they sent text messages to everybody who bought from them last year. And he said it was more successful than having staff pick up the phone. And I mean, think about how much quicker it was too.
Well, and a
So
lot of people,
that's-
I don't pick up my calls much anymore if I don't know the number, if I
Me
don't
neither.
have
Yeah.
it saved.
Never.
And
If you call me and I don't know your number, my voicemail says, if you're not a scammer, text me and I'll call you back.
also,
Because most of the calls are from...
and now I got a new phone, and in my new phone I have the spam text as well, so you
Yeah.
can set it for spam. And I was waiting for somebody to text me. I'm like, you never texted me, and then immediately it was in that folder.
Yeah, me too.
So that's I mean, I think it's important for
Today, actually, the same thing.
Really?
Yeah.
So I think it's important that, you know, people keep up with that. And for those of you that are listening that are SAF members, the floral management is available on the website. Like, you can go in and download, and that's how I get it. We don't have the actual physical copy unless there's like an article or an ad, and then I ask for a copy. But I love seeing it, because sometimes I can just look at it when I'm at home, and, you know, if not, I can lose it. No, this is awesome. So aside from the flower, the HubSpot, like not the HubSpot, the education's,
Floral Education Hub.
that's it. There, that you guys can find all that information. But I really highly suggest picking up that July, August, or logging in and downloading it, because you have a lot of great people. You said Monty, but I know you also have Renato talking here. You have a lot of people that are giving in some tips on how to avoid these things, how you can report the incidents to SAF. So that's really awesome. Like, there's a QR code that takes you to it, and it's just beautiful. And it's also nice to see everybody's smiley faces in the, you know, even though all that went down, you still are in a great industry, you know?
Yeah, we really are.
And there's also, I think in your article, I believe Sam was in your article as well. Sam Bowles from Allen's.
Yep.
He actually sent this in, and I'm going to send this. This is similar, but a little off topic. Let me just post.
Mimi, it's your boy Sam from Allen's Flowers in San Diego, California, and I just saw your post about your upcoming episode to do with scams, and it made me think of something that is scam adjacent that has actually cost our business more money than scams themselves, and those are frivolous lawsuits. There are all kinds of categories of them, but basically where somebody looks for a law that actually was well-meaning and probably meant to do a good thing, but then weaponizes some little loophole of it to cost small businesses a whole lot of money. We saw it with ADA through the last decade. We've seen it in the state of California with environmental regulations that have to do with chemicals that are in your receipt paper. And we're seeing it a lot now on the internet with cookies, accessibility, that kind of thing. So I think that's definitely a topic that is very close and worthy of exploration.
Didn't that just happen to us too?
That did. We got this
from California. Some guy is
Yeah.
suing us because we have something on our website that we shouldn't.
So what we have is when we connect any of our plugins to our website, whether it be HubSpot, Outlook, different information, when people go to that website, they're collecting the cookies, like Cookie Monster.
Who's collecting the cookies?
The website is.
Every website you go to says, "I got cookies, yes or no."
Exactly. So that's what people are saying, that if they can see when you've recently signed up for HubSpot, they can see when you've recently updated your plugins, so they know that you don't have it up to date, and they take advantage of that. And then they'll send in a lawsuit, and usually the guy or the person that is suing you, if you Google and you look into it, they have 25 other cases happening, because that's exactly what they're doing.
200 other cases.
Well,
they make money from doing it.
Like Sam said about the ADA, my cousin sells sneakers. And they really focus on consumer related websites that have shopping carts. So if you have a shopping cart, you would have to have ADA accessible. And he got in trouble, and he ended up going to court for it. I mean, he won because it was not in the state of Florida, and he's selling sneakers here. But websites don't have unless you say you're not, focused on that area, and you say, I don't sell to California, you could have an order that comes in, so.
What are we doing about that lawsuit? How did we even respond to that? Or do we just tell the guy go to hell? And I go to California and they
Oliver
arrest me?
and Ryan responded, I think, to the whole thing. But you have to, make sure that your plugins and themes are up to date. Fix broken links and forms on your website. Maintain records of anything that you have. So
How much was he suing us for?
10,000.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's
And I mean,
crazy.
honestly, if you didn't know that it's a scam, you might hire the lawyer and go through the whole thing. And this guy has a success rate because you're like, oh,
Yeah, because it costs you $10,000 to hire the lawyer.
hey, let me just pay him.
Right.
Right.
I ain't paying him. Forget it.
But there are things that you can run accessibility scans on your website, and you can update your privacy policies and your cookie policies, make sure that they're up to date. And yeah.
And that thing was like 2 pages long. I've never seen a lawsuit with 2 pages. They're usually like 300 pages.
Yeah. He said, no, the best is that he claimed emotional distress over our website.
Oh, wow. Wow. Send him some flowers.
Well, I could see that.
Well, no,
I have some
Mike.
emotional distress on our website as well. I could see that.
So a website
That's why
is
you're
forever
redoing it?
changing. Yeah. It's forever, Mike.
Wow. What a scam. There's so many rackets out there, man. There's so many. Every day it's something else.
People just don't want to go and do the hard work, I guess. I don't know.
Do they sue the order gatherers for deceptive stuff? Has anybody ever sue them? We could turn that guy on to them. The guy with the cookies.
An idea.
Yeah, why don't they go and well,
Sounds more lucrative. $5 for a click. If you just didn't like someone, you just can click 1,000 times and they would
Right.
have to pay for each one, right? Even though you don't buy anything. If you just keep clicking, you would have to pay? Or they just know people are doing that?
No. You set a daily limit. You can set a daily limit on it. And then, I mean, if you find the deceptive, you can turn it into Google. But how would you, it's not, that's a whole can of worms. I mean, and I got Google certified in 2017 or 2018. I remember because I just got off of maternity.
What's a Google certified?
On Google AdWords, taught how to do it because there's it's really complicated. I mean, that's why I feel really bad for these small businesses because you have to invest, and if you're setting it up, that back end is very it's complicated. So Amanda,
keep
you
up
know
with
what's been interesting for us, and it's like how much social media also, if you're doing a really good reel and you see the insights and you go into it and you see what it takes to go to the link tree or to the bios that you're actually that click, that's why it is important for you to keep up with your social media, because if you do not, you're just wasting that, and some of that is that engagement. It could be free, that you can also pay for, Mike. That we can also pay to boost our Instagrams or our Facebook.
It does help a lot.
But I
helps a lot.
do feel like when you start
But
that,
you've everywhere, as far as you've come, I don't think you've ever paid for it.
never.
No, we haven't.
No.
So why start now?
No. I don't think we should. No.
But it does help.
Help how? Well, how would it help?
Because
It
you
spreads out to anyone who can to relate to what that post sees, in a sense.
So you can set it to
So
send
if I like
it
dogs,
to women.
there's a good chance that person who pays for their post about dogs will pop up.
Yeah, I understand.
But I do have a theory. Once you start paying for it, you're not going to get the same clicks as you can organically, and then they steal from you. So I do think that that's happened. I think that does happen. But
Yeah, I think that's good for certain applications. Yeah, I know. We can hardly keep up either. It's just constantly changing.
It's always something. When I first started, we had a pencil, number 2 pencil, and plenty of them,
A phone book?
with a pencil sharpener that you had to crank. And we used Uorco business forms, and we had to write our orders on it, and we had to add it up. And when you made a mistake, you were in big trouble.
I used to use, when I first started,
Now it's so different.
when I first started in the industry, I started with creating fax blasts.
Yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
the fax blasts?
Yeah.
And email blasts and all of those things. And I think it's interesting to see that we've come a long way. What was your form of advertising when you were on 28th Street? There was no form, right?
None.
People just knew,
None.
if you know, that's how it was back there.
Well, yeah, at that, I don't think B2B at that time was really big on advertising. I think it was very localized. It wasn't as global as things are now.
Yeah.
was very local.
Mm.
You know, you slap your logo on the side of the truck. I guess that's an advertisement.
And I think that's where you see a lot of these, because for the consumer, if you're doing consumer marketing, the click rates are going to go different. But when you're dealing with B2B and the return is so much bigger, you know, like then that's when I think that the click is worth it, you know?
Let me ask you, these order gatherers, they have websites or no?
Oh, yeah.
So they have Google reviews.
Yeah, the consumer is placing an order on their website.
So they must have.
What you said? They have Google reviews.
Yeah, do they get Google reviews as well, based on third parties delivering?
I don't know, but don't you have to have like a Google business profile set up to show your
Yes.
Google? And they're not doing that.
And you have to have a physical.
They're not doing that.
Yeah, but who buys anything if they don't have 4.5 stars at least?
Yeah, but Mike,
buys
even
anything?
Because they're confused. They're
Yeah.
deceived. Like, yeah.
even when you're buying on Amazon, on Amazon, I don't know if you see like some of them say you have to make sure that you're reading that review that says verified Amazon. There's also the Vine, where it's an Amazon affiliate program where they're getting people just to write reviews on products. And so sometimes people just write reviews to write reviews, you know?
Oh, I know. Trust me.
Yeah, we have.
I know. We got 1-star review because the fact that we don't sell to the public was not clear enough on our website. It wasn't
I
clear
actually
enough.
remember this because didn't you talk about this at Next Gen last year?
No,
was
that
this
was
last year?
that was another 1-star review that we got. We told them we did not sell to the public. We sent them to a partner of ours. The partner sold them flowers, and they took pictures of the flowers at the location of the partner and gave us a bad review.
Oh.
So we they don't
even realize.
all over our building, Amanda, it says, and on our website it does say it, but on our building, the person even said, I got to your location and I had to see it on the front door. It was everywhere. You don't sell to the public. Well, yeah, because we respect the chain. So that hurts, Mike, but.
What hurts is that the young lady from Gravity Free said we need like 7 million 5-star reviews to make up for that 1 star.
The marvelous Miss Megan.
Terrible.
I know.
Terrible.
Megan
Order
Trace.
gatherers.
Deceptive.
Deceptive order gatherers. Well, that's a big
Deceptive.
wake up. That's a
Deceptive
big wake up.
gatherers.
I bet a lot of them are not even
Here.
or have a store or anything like that.
Yeah.
They're just strictly online and probably from a call center somewhere. Because when I was calling, even StubHub, they're not here. StubHub is a big scam. Don't use StubHub. It's a big scam. They don't have people physically in the United States. Everything is.
Well, I
out of the United States.
think my problem with StubHub is that you have to like transfer the tickets to somebody else, and usually sometimes it takes forever. At one point, I feel like giving up. I'm like, I really don't have to go to that event anymore.
We didn't get our tickets, and the solution they gave us was to go to the box office and stand at the box office until everyone else came in, until they scanned everybody's tickets, and then and only then would prove that we didn't get our tickets, and then they will give us tickets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's like not even logical. What if some people didn't show up?
Well, we're talking about the 2 seats that we claimed that we had. The box office people were nice about it, but these StubHub people, that was the only solution they can give you, is that you stand there for an hour and wait for every single person to be scanned, and then and only then they'll let you in if your seats were not scanned by somebody else. Terrible. And they weren't,
Yeah, and
they weren't cheap either.
this is what these florists are dealing with. They're getting these phone calls from angry customers with, I paid this much and this arrangement isn't what I was expecting.
Yeah.
And I got it from you. But the florist is like, I don't have any record of your order, and having to work with them through that. Because like Mimi said earlier, it's their reputation on the line. I mean, they're lucky when a customer who is ordered through a deceptive order gatherer calls them, because at least they have the opportunity
to defend
tell
themselves.
them that wasn't us. And, now that we have this resource, they could also send them to our website, to read more about it.
I bet they read your article and they're saying, I better worry. I better straighten out my deceptive stuff. So do they show a picture when they take the order? They have like a picture and then they send the picture to the florist to fill?
You think you're filling from that. You think you're ordering from that florist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can guess that some places don't have the exact same product in their inventory to match the picture.
No, and I've seen a lot of this, like, and I've seen this on social media as well, where people steal other people's work, and that's also really common, and that hurts too, because these are art pieces, you know. I mean, we had somebody who kept posting some of our pictures from our Fresh Fest, and they were not tagging or not giving credit. I felt not bad for us, but I felt bad for the artist that created that piece, you know? So I made sure to reach out to them and say, hey, if you're going to post that, please make sure that you tag the artist, tag us. But the person who created that took their time for the concept to, you know, actually spend hours creating that piece. So, yeah.
But as if retailers didn't have enough problems.
That's
You know, they're working so hard.
Exactly.
They're probably some of the hardest working people out there, and they have to be on the defense.
Well, we got to go back, Mike. We got to go back and end it with a good, because I just don't feel good about leaving it like this.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm all for it. And in other news,
Amanda's going to continue enjoying that beautiful summer glow she's got. You're going to get to see Walker, and Sid's going to go to the lake soon. And
I was calling Casey over and over again today so I could sneak out of here and go see Walker, because I'm not allowed to bring Sid. And because I could leave Sid here with you guys and go. Mm-hmm. And then he called me back like 10 minutes before the podcast. It's like, man, you're too late.
New parents need to sleep when the baby's sleeping.
No, I get it. I understand. I understand.
Yeah.
2 under 2. I sent them some cupcakes. I said, hey guys, enjoy. I know you need some sweetness in your life.
Casey said they're doing great. Baby's great. Everybody's great. Just waiting for them to come back to work so I can go back to New York.
How many grandchildren do you have now?
4. 2 boys, 2 girls.
4. Oh, perfect.
I love being an opa. It's cool.
It is cool, right? Like that's
I went to visit Jared and Cindy, and then they just moved into a new house. And we went to check out their house, and my grandson wanted to show me all kinds of stuff. And
so fun.
He wanted to show me his room, his new room.
Yeah.
Yeah, being the mom is not fun, because you got to put down the foot all the time. I don't know about you, Amanda, but this summer is killing me. Teenagers, I've entered the 16 and 14.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was nice because they were like old enough to be independent, and I didn't have to direct their time, which honestly I didn't really do anyways. But now they just fight. They fight all the time, and that's exhausting. Although I'm in a sweet spot right now. My oldest daughter's at orchestra camp. My youngest daughter just got home from a cross-country trip with her grandparents. So we've had we're gonna have 2 weeks of separation between the two of them. So I'm enjoying that.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to when the kids are old enough to spend some time with us without their parents.
Yeah. Summers at the lake house.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to
I
that.
guarantee you that your children are also looking forward to that.
I was going to say the same thing. They can't wait either.
And I'm sure the kids too, because my kids, man, do they know what they can get away with my parents. Ooh, it's just like, I have to tell them, I had to create a group chat with my dad, because he's the driver, the gopher, and they can bamboozle that man to doing anything. And I said, if it doesn't say yes from me, you're not allowed to take them. Please don't do that.
I used to do the same thing.
They know. They go. My mom, Emil.
Summertime, I was
My
always
oldest
with my grandma.
loves art, and my mom, like, he has all these things that he does, and people are like, wow, how do you afford those crazy art supplies? Those are the coolest markers. I'm like, yeah, Mom, you're not the one that has to store all of this stuff. So yeah, enjoy it. It's good. Well, Amanda, we have all your questions, and I just think that it's let everybody know where they can reach out to you, and also maybe again where they can see the article.
Yeah, so if you just hop on our website, safnow.org, there's a blue menu bar across the top. If you click on advocacy, you'll see Deceptive Advertising. And there's a whole web page there with lots and lots and lots of information and a button where you can submit a form, if you're experiencing problems. And we also have live chat on our website that is staffed by real SAF staff members. And so if you need to get in touch with me or need help finding that, I just hop on live chat and let us know how we can help you.
Okay. Well, Amanda, thank you very much for joining us today. And on behalf of the Fresh Bunch, Mimi and Joelle and Ryan and myself, thank you very much.